They say due to the shutdown, no food stamps. No food stamps for November, and you know November is Thanksgiving. So you mean to tell me, President Trump and Republicans, you mean to tell me that these people who never receive food stamps is not going to be able to get food stamps for the month of November, which is an actual holiday? Not just as a holiday, it's the fact that people need their food, and that's their only way to buy food. So that's what y'all doing now?
Are you worried as everyday food prices soar, straining your family budget tighter than ever, especially if you're a parent raising young children or an elderly person living alone? The good news is that the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, has adjusted its support levels higher to help you navigate these challenges. Amid persistent inflation and escalating living costs, the topic of cost of living adjustments for SNAP in fiscal year 2026 is drawing widespread attention from the community, particularly as the changes officially take effect on October 1, 2025, enabling millions of American households to access better food options. Over the past 2 years, from 2024 to the present, the USDA has continuously updated benefit levels to reflect price fluctuations, and this adjustment was announced in mid-August 2025, just before the new fiscal year begins, underscoring the federal government's efforts to support food security amid pandemic aftermath and economic downturn. The SNAP program, also known as the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, is administered by the U.S. Department of Agriculture through its Food and Nutrition Service, with its legal framework based on the Farm Bill and annual federal regulations. The primary responsible agency is the USDA Food and Nutrition Service, and the official announcement on cost of living adjustments for fiscal year 2026 was signed and released by Ronald Ward, Acting Associate Administrator, on August 13, 2025, later posted on the agency's website on September 17th of the same year. This document includes a detailed memorandum on the changes issued on August 14, 2025, providing specific tables on maximum allotments, income limits, and deductions. At the state level, agencies such as the Rhode Island Department of Human Services and the New York City Human Resources Administration have updated information based on federal guidance, with the effective date synchronized from October 1, 2025, while UC Merced, through its CalFresh program, has cited the California Department of Social Services notice to guide the community. The core content of these changes focuses on increasing maximum allotments based on the Thrifty Food Plan to offset rising food costs. According to the USDA Food and Nutrition Service announcement released on August 13, 2025, the maximum allotment for a 4-person household in the 48 contiguous states and the District of Columbia has been raised to $994, up from $975 the previous year, allowing families to receive additional support for essential grocery purchases. Deductions have also been adjusted, with the maximum shelter deduction increasing to $744 for households without elderly or disabled members, and the standard deduction for a 4-person household at $216, while the homeless shelter allowance is $198.99. Income limits are set at 100% and 130% of the federal poverty level, specifically for a 4-person household in the contiguous states at a net income of $2,680 and a gross income of $3,483. These adjustments apply to most areas except Hawaii, where allotments decrease due to local variations, while Alaska, Guam, and the Virgin Islands have higher levels. For example, Guam at $1,465 for a 4-person household. Documentation from the USDA Food and Nutrition Service released on August 14, 2025, emphasizes that asset limits remain unchanged at $3,000 for standard households and $4,500 for those with elderly or disabled members, ensuring stability in eligibility criteria. From a data perspective, these figures reflect changes over time, with the maximum allotment for a four-person household increasing gradually from previous years to combat inflation, and differences across states are evident, such as Rhode Island applying gross income limits up to 185% of the federal poverty level for some households, reaching $4,958 for a four-person family, while New York City highlights the maximum allotment rise from $975 to $994. The notice from UC Merced, citing the California Department of Social Services, released on October 1, 2025, shows the maximum shelter deduction at $744, aligning with federal guidelines. And while no latest statistics on beneficiary numbers are provided, the sources underscore the impact on millions of households. These changes extend beyond numbers to affect benefit calculations, with increased deductions reducing countable income, thereby boosting actual benefits for many families. From a multi-sectoral viewpoint, the SNAP Fiscal Year 2026 adjustments contribute to the broader economy by stimulating food consumption, supporting American agriculture, and easing burdens on public health programs, as improved food security reduces rates of nutrition-related illnesses. The federal budget for SNAP, managed by the USDA, is adjusted annually to reflect food costs, and these changes may influence labor and employment by encouraging low-income individuals to maintain part-time jobs without losing benefits, while enhancing community health through better access to nutritious foods. From a food security angle, the USDA Food and Nutrition Service highlights in its August 13, 2025 announcement that these increases aim to compensate for rising food prices, helping to mitigate social inequality and aid economic recovery post-pandemic. Regarding perspectives and debates, sources from the USDA and state agencies express strong support for the adjustments, with Ronald Ward from the USDA Food and Nutrition Service emphasizing in the memorandum dated August 14, 2025, that the rise in maximum allotments for most areas will better equip households to handle living costs, reflecting the government's commitment to protecting vulnerable groups. However, some concerns are implicitly raised through Hawaii's allotment reduction, indicating challenges in balancing local costs, and the New York City Human Resources Administration, in its October 1, 2025 update, notes that the increased shelter deduction may fall short in high-cost cities, sparking discussions on the need for more flexible state-level adjustments. These arguments are grounded in factual data from the announcements, highlighting economic benefits but also warning of budgetary pressures if inflation persists. The direct impact on beneficiaries is substantial, particularly for low-income groups struggling with food expenses, where the $994 maximum allotment for a four-person household, as announced by the USDA on August 13, 2025, can enable purchases of more nutritious items for children, reducing hunger risks. Elderly and disabled individuals benefit from higher deductions, with unchanged asset limits making eligibility easier, while families with children in Rhode Island may access broader income thresholds up to 185% of poverty, as updated by the Rhode Island Department of Human Services on October 1, 2025. Part-time workers in New York City, according to the Human Resources Administration update on October 1, 2025, will see enhanced benefits through the $744 shelter deduction, aiding the balance between employment and assistance. The upcoming timeline indicates that the changes have taken effect since October 1, 2025, with the USDA Food and Nutrition Service recommending immediate implementation by states, and agencies like California, through the UC Merced notice, have disseminated information to counties for system updates. No specific public comment deadlines are mentioned in the sources, but annual updates typically allow feedback via the Federal Register, and beneficiaries should monitor the USDA website for any supplemental changes if inflation shifts. In summary, the cost of living adjustments for SNAP in fiscal year 2026 hold significant importance in bolstering food security for millions of Americans, with increased allotments and more flexible deductions alleviating economic pressures on vulnerable populations.
Key aspects to watch include the real-world impact on program participation and potential adjustments in the coming year based on emerging economic data to ensure the program's ongoing effectiveness amid global fluctuations.